Go Pizza presents STP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
I want to quote the great Joel Embiid. If you don't know who that is, he's a Philadelphia 76er, also known as Leafs. The Leafs are 76ers light. You want to think you think the Leafs have had it painful. If you've watched any basketball in the last 4 years, the 76ers fans, they're the ones who have it bad.
Wow.
I get why Philly's mad at other sports, because the 76ers are that bad.
I mean, we can sympathize. You take that 7 and 6, you switch places. You know what you get.
That's right, 67. And 7, I believe, is consequently what they won last year in terms of games. Like, it was, I'm not even kidding, they were terrible. Now,
yeah.
Embiid is part of the future. He's gonna be a great player. And he said, well, America is tanking, everyone. I guess all we can do is trust the process, which is what the general manager who tanked the 76ers said for years. So I just want to give him a round of applause. I also want to say, that what we've seen in the last 48 hours is every range of emotion possible.
I mean, we were right. We were right when we said we're going to talk and we're going to say our words, and most people are going to hear those words in a different world.
Yes.
We recorded Tuesday morning.
Yes, and it is a different world today, but Obama is still president.
Yes.
Let's not make any bones about that. Before we start, people asked us to address this, what happened. People asked us not to address it. We're going to do our thing, which is what we do. During the election coverage, obviously, Jesse, Steve, and I have a Facebook conversation that we reference sometimes that we're always talking to each other on.
With a super mature name that we can't say on the radio.
And we're always sharing stuff. Now, as Clinton was confirmed to be pulling herself out of the race, as she made the call to Donald Trump and said, all right, I've lost. Steve asked Jesse a question that I thought was very powerful. And Steve, do you remember that question? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Can you ask it again?
Jesse, it's so much harder in person. But how does this make you feel as a black man?
It's upsetting, for sure, to know that first rule of radio is turn off your cell phone.
Yeah.
But you know what else
Jesse
is
just
upsetting?
Tortorella to you. Yes. So rude. Get out.
How much are we getting into this?
Well, just tell me what you said.
It was upsetting. It was disappointing, upsetting. I don't remember. Sad.
You used the word disenfranchised, or no, not just disenfranchised. Marginalized.
Yes.
So that you used 4 words: disappointed, marginalized, upset, confused. And I think that kind of sums it all up. And the weird phenomena that we saw yesterday come out of all of this is we got a bunch of messages from people saying thank you to us. And I was like, I turned to Jesse at one point on the air yesterday, not obviously live on the air, but I was like, what the hell? Why are we being thanked? And don't take me the wrong way here. It's a tremendous compliment. But I think yesterday brought out some pretty deep emotions in everyone, and I want to share with you a post that Jesse shared with us. It is from a listener, and it says, hello, Adam, Steve, and Jesse. Please don't ever stop doing this. Okay, so I'm going to read through this quickly. So here's the thing. I'm a 19-year-old bisexual male living in the U.S. with a boyfriend. As you are all painfully aware, the Republican Party just took all 3 branches of government in this country, and Trump will be sworn into office. I have a lot of media that I intake on the daily, so there's a lot of people that I'd like to thank for keeping me sane for a lot of the hard times the past couple years. And I want to thank you guys so much for all that you've unknowingly helped me through. But that's not what this is about. You guys are an escape, not just for me, but for a lot of people. We get to forget about the real world for just a little bit and listen to Steve go on about how terrible Canucks fans are, hear about Adam's freezer jeans, and the subculture that Jesse resides in named Liberty Village. It's true, it is a subculture, isn't it? It is.
It's a neighborhood.
It's a
let's not go that far.
It's a scene, bro.
Nice place.
It's a scene, bro.
It's a scene. It's a bit of a scene.
It is a scene. It's a scene.
It's not.
It is
It's
so
a neighborhood
It's not a
with
scene.
a vibrant scene.
I would say it is Soto Sopa. First off,
Listen.
From South Park. It is
It's
so far to the
It's a neighborhood
core.
without houses.
That's right.
It's,
It's condos. That's actually
condos.
true, actually. He continues, now more than ever, a lot of people are legitimately scared. Scared for the future of our country and what this means for the progress that we have made. So please continue to be our escape, our lifeline. You mean more to us. You mean more than you'll ever know to people, to us, and to me. Now, when I read that yesterday morning, I read it in a, you know when you wake up in the morning and you read Twitter and you read a tweet, or maybe it's directed at you and someone says something kind of mean and you take it too personally and you're like, I'm really upset about this. I'm very sensitive in the morning. I don't know why.
That we might have dedicated the entire last show to that.
Okay, fair. This one haunted me yesterday, and I don't think it was because I read it early in the morning. I think it's because it's haunting.
Well, and we got tons like that.
Tons. Like when I say tons.
I'm blank, and here's why I'm scared. So thanks for your silly show.
Yeah. So I think the first thing we want to tell you is that we love you. This is a show that genuinely was built on people loving the show as much as the show loved the people, and vice versa. I am constantly creating the show around what people tweet at me in terms of prep. Like there are people that send me prep. There are people,
and I love that people do that. I love that people have the confidence that this will be a good topic.
Yeah,
you guys got to talk about blank.
This.
It's never. Hey, I was just thinking maybe you could talk about. They're like, guess what? I know.
You're going to be talking about this.
You know how many producers we have? 20,000.
25,000 an episode. And I think the key thing is here is that
plus Jesse. Sorry.
Yeah. We are honored that you would make us a part of your life in any under any circumstances, right? Whatever your political leanings, I'm sure there are people that listen to the show that voted both sides. There are people that listen to this show who are Canadian, and you're wondering, why the hell does this matter? Well, it matters because we're right next to the States, and they kind of affect everyone.
I didn't
cut
understand,
out with that argument.
Man, you guys, like, Americans saying Canadians have no dog in the fight, and Canadians saying, well,
what
we're up
are
here.
you talking about?
We're up here, so what's the problem? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you're just... No, okay, you're not an idiot. You're not thinking straight. It affects you.
You're ignorant. Ignorant's the word.
There you go.
You're ignorant of just how closely tied both countries are. And by the way, the United States is pretty tied to Canada too. Not maybe on the same level as Canada tied to the States, but we're each other's number one trading partners.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Largest border in the world.
I think the thing here is that, yes, this is a little bit scary, but this is the time where scary becomes action. It's going to come out through your actions. It's going to come out through, if you're an artist, your art. If it's going to come out, it's going to come out through the way you treat people. Now is the time to differentiate yourself from those that you believe are leading this world into a bad space. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, if you look at the way that the votes shook out, Hillary Clinton got like half of the votes that Barack Obama got in 2008. Why? Because DNC voters didn't show up. And that's...
It was like 53, 54% turnout, something like that.
So, and if you're upset about Donald Trump getting into the White House, which is understandable, then you have a civic duty not to try to unseat him from being the president, because he's the president for the next 4 years. Suck it up. Now it's time to go, all right, I'm going to continue doing the work that I was doing. I'm going to continue to make people feel safe, accept people for their differences, their color differences, their sexual differences, whatever differences that supposedly are such a big deal, that aren't big at all. This is the time now where you stand up to your racist uncle on Facebook and don't let him get away with it. This is the time where we stop ignoring the people.
Too much of that.
And ignoring the people on our Facebook, ignoring the people on Twitter, and going, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. And it's unacceptable. And I'm not talking about attacking them on Facebook, because that doesn't do any good. But I'm talking about the next time you're at a family gathering and and I'm going to use just uncle, because that's just an easy term to use. Let's say you got an uncle who's a Trump supporter, and they start going off about, Muslims this and whatever else, we build a wall, Mexicans, whatever. It is your job to now stand up and say something.
Now, Yeah, and I'll give you an example. So I'm not trying to I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I was in line for, I want to say it was game 7, might have been game 4 of Leafs versus Bruins, the line to head into Maple Leaf Square. It's a big line. I'm in line with hundreds and hundreds of people. And some guy drops a slur about the Bruins, right? Like any idiot fan would.
Yeah.
You know? So, hey, why don't you talk about your bad Leafs fans? All right, I'm talking about one in particular. So I eventually said something. But it took me a second to say it, and no one else said anything. Hundreds of people. I don't really know if there's a benefit in the silent majority.
There isn't. If you say nothing,
use your voice.
You're a party to it.
And I think that was a great example of that. Sometimes I hear that and I go, I don't know if that's fair. No, it's true.
It is true.
It is true.
And that can put you in a really uncomfortable spot, and that can make people not like you. And you know what?
Too bad.
You have to get used to life. There's plenty of people that listen to the show that don't like me, and that's fine. It's the fact of the matter is, I say what I think, and everybody should say what they think, but you can't allow for this hatred stuff to go on anymore. We can't continue to go, well, that's just crazy Uncle Tom, because crazy Uncle, maybe that's the wrong term to use. Crazy Uncle Joe.
You could have picked any name, Adam.
Any name. Crazy Uncle Joe, but there's a lot of crazy Uncle Joes now.
And they put a man in the White House.
Yeah, and they used to be shouted down. It used to be embarrassing to be racist. Now it's cool. In some circles.
This is what screwed polls up, though, is they are embarrassed. And they didn't say anything. I don't know, I'm undecided. Okay. So we saw, like, they're not proud of their stance.
No.
They were happy to put it on paper, but they're not proud of it.
No.
So I think what matters is, are you proud of who you are?
Yep.
Be that way.
Time to wave the flag.
Who you are.
Time to support LGBTQ. Time to support Black Lives Matter. Time to get out there and actually do something about this. You know, stand up for people, and you don't have to get. I'm not saying go into protests and set things on fire and that sort of thing.
I'm saying protest.
Yeah,
I'm not saying set things on fire, but I'm saying protest.
What I'm saying is stand up for your beliefs. Be heard. Now is the time. We need you now. We need to come together now. And you know what? Sometimes, and this is going to sound crazy, sometimes it's good to let people sit in their own filth for a while. Okay? Sometimes you got to let people lay in the bed that they made. And this bed has been made. And so, I you know what? They say they're going to build a wall. Good effing luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Now,
that's going to be hilarious to watch.
This will be my last piece on that. I have thought that way. I have thought, okay, now they're going to see. Now they're going to see just how bad it gets. See, it doesn't just get bad. It doesn't just disappoint the people who voted for him. You know, oh, you were disappointed in the two choices you had, so you didn't vote. Okay, so maybe you didn't feel either of the candidates matched your beliefs. How about your friends? How about the people around you? How about your favorite teacher from school? How about your favorite boss or your favorite employee? How about your mom, your sister, your dad, your brother, your son, your daughter? Vote for them. Vote for who you think would be the best candidate for them. So I would love to just be like, yeah, it's going to be 4 years. He's going to screw it up real bad, and then they'll see. And then maybe that brings about change, which would be great. But for these 4 years, it doesn't project to be very good for a lot of people.
No.
I wish I could say something more uplifting than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you did.
But protect those that you know who are disenfranchised. Protect those that you know that are at risk.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You know, your voice protects them, believe it or not. That voice, vocalizing this through protest songs, through going out and educating people on truly the differences between the way, say I as a white male grew up and the difference between Jesse, who was pulled over for having rusty goddamn plates.
Yeah, we did make a bit about that, but I don't know. Was it funnier then? than it is now, than it is like today.
Funnier in the moment.
Yeah.
It was never really funny.
No.
No.
There was a serious
very
undertone
uncomfortable.
at every moment we talked about it. you know?
Yeah. No, I know that.
Yeah.
But like what I'm saying is, I don't know. It seemed to me like at the moment it was getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, I don't know, it just feels like such a step back.
And
Like,
you know what?
It was messed up the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened to you was messed up the whole
But
time.
it felt like at the time we were getting away from that. Felt like we were taking steps
you.
towards
Yes.
progress.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
And there was a group of Americans who didn't like the progress that society was making. They didn't like that we had a black president for 8 years, and they voted against it.
Well, and that's because their way of life, the way things were 50 years ago, is disappearing.
Yeah.
And-
a lot of you are in school.
Uh-huh.
And people tend to say dumb stuff in school.
Which is what school's for.
Yeah, and it is what school's for. You know what? You're figuring out who you are. Say something. For the love of God, say something.
Yeah. The other thing is, I want to quickly just say, honored as we are to get your tweets, I think that you are the ones deserving of thank yous.
Yes.
This show for us it's my favorite thing that I do. I live for this show. And for the people that tweet us every morning, that's my favorite thing, is waking up, whether you agree or disagree, as I said, sitting on the toilet and reading tweets every morning. It's my favorite thing.
I regularly show up to the show in a bad mood and leave in a good one. So know that. Thank you.
And know that we're here. We're on social media. You need someone, we're here. And not just us. This community, this group of people that listen to this show, we're all like that.
It's a cool group of people.
It is. And so understand that we are here. If you are feeling alone, you're not. If you're a part of this community, you're not alone. And so we really appreciate the fact that you listen. We appreciate the messages. And can you message us? Go to the Reddit page and check out Throw It Away's post, who was the one I read earlier. Can you please go in and comment? That guy, that's somebody that deserves a hug. That's someone that deserves support. That's someone that I think we should all get behind, along with everybody else on this show.
Yeah, I'm not just trying to promote the Reddit page, but there's a lot of good stuff there regularly, whether it's stories or
Corrections.
Often corrections.
But actuallys.
Reddit, the but actuallys are great. Listen, I never want to be wrong.
No.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like being wrong.
No.
Reddit.com/r/Steve Dangle page. Or no, is it Steve Dangle?
Just Steve Dangle.
Just Steve Dangle.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to this show. Jesse.
Yesterday wasn't fun. I don't think for anybody. I don't think the world was happy. Sean King was retweeting, who works for Daily News, and he's like a writer for political reasons. Anyways, he was retweeting a whole bunch of stuff that happened as a result of Trump's presidency. Like there was there's a woman on the street who was told, "Go back to your country, Apu." And then there was another one who had Apu,
like the Simpsons
character. They yelled at her.
Okay.
There's another man who was a gay man. He pulled into a gas station, and they left a note on his car that said, "I can't wait till President Trump takes away your marriage." So these are real things that happened yesterday as a result of what happened on Tuesday night. And hopefully this becomes the rallying cry to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen anymore. Hopefully we take these 4 years to get stronger, because we built 8 years. We were, like you said, we were going in the right direction. Hopefully we keep going that direction over the next 4 years.
And
I don't know.
To that point, it's going to be a tough road. This is not going to be easy. I mean, did you guys see the racist graffiti in Philly?
There's so much. There's so much. We could spend the whole show on Did You Sees.
Yeah, you're right. It's Jesse.
I saw the kid who got called something he shouldn't have been called, and then he showed up to the other kid's high school class and threatened to kick his ass.
Oh yeah, that was the World Star video.
Yeah,
where you said
it was everywhere.
It was great.
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay. I loved that. I thought that video was great.
Yeah,
I was like, good.
You think you can call me that? You got another thing coming. No,
I love that.
You can't.
Yeah. And one thing you should see is Van Jones talking about Trump become president.
The white lash.
Van
The white
Jones.
lash.
CBC's coverage was great.
Yeah.
Was it?
Really good. Yeah, not a lot of people were watching it until it seemed later in the night. But I mean, okay. So there is something to be said, obviously, for completely unbiased Walter Cronkite journalism, which, by the way, doesn't exist.
Yeah.
At least it's so rare, I don't see it anymore. So CBC, under that guise, I guess, just went full, like, as the night progressed, like, we can't believe this crap. And, like, the look on their face, we can't believe this crap. And now he's winning. We can't believe this crap. And then, oh my goodness, I forget her name. There was so much going on that night. There were a few really good rants.
Well,
We should maybe post some of them.
I want to make a distinction before we close this up and we actually get to hockey. But yeah, post the rants. Post them. Post them on the page. I'd love to see them. A couple things. First off, I want you to know right now.
Peter Mansford was just like, in all my years of doing this.
Never, I don't
This
think
is some crazy crap.
there hasn't been a shock like this since OJ, I don't think. Like, has there been, when was the last time, or 9/11, like, when was the last time we were so collectively shocked?
9/11.
Everyone.
9/11.
9/11.
Yeah.
Like, and that's crazy,
Yeah.
right? That's a,
No. Okay, not no one was right, but almost no one was right. Someone sent an eerie clip, I think it was from the BBC, from like 3 months ago, and they're like, we actually project Trump's
Yeah.
going to win, and here's why. And they nailed it.
Yeah.
They nailed the reasons why. And Michael Moore, who you can roll your eyes and say Michael Moore, he's at least tapped into his own community. And did Michigan red or blue?
went red.
Yeah.
He called it.
Now, a couple distinctions I want to make. First off, there's a key point in all of this that is, I think, very divisive. I think a lot of people, I think the conservative movement's been hijacked. There are people who are legitimate conservatives who are not racist, not misogynist, not homophobic.
Conservative used to be, here's how you should spend your money.
Yeah, that was it. It was really an economic way of looking at the world. It wasn't a let's reverse it back to 1942. And so understand, America, any Americans listening, that Republicans right now represent to the rest of the world. This is how the world sees it. You can disagree, but unfortunately, this is how the world sees you. Republicans represent about the worst that America has to offer. Now, that's not to say if you're listening to this show and you're a conservative, this is not an attack on you.
No.
It's if you are a conservative, that is different from a current state Republican, right? The line that Republican Party is driving to me is much different than what a actual conservative is. Understand that if your political beliefs swing that way, this is not. We're going right after the haters, man. We're going after these people who are exclusionary of anybody that's not white.
Here's the very unfair opinion I'm just going to throw out there. I won't judge you if you're Republican. I will judge you if you voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You might not feel that's fair. Too bad.
Yeah.
With a smile on my face, too bad.
And don't talk to me about emails. Just don't. If you want to send me don't bother sending the tweet. There's no comparison. Don't even bother.
You're wrong. You won. Sometimes the wrong side wins.
Yep.
You're wrong.
So we wanted to say that before we got into anything because we did have to address that. I think it's important that we talk about the fact that, hey, did you know prison stocks soared after Trump won? Prisons. Oh, because you didn't know? American prisons are privatized. For-profit prisons, just so you know. Don, and then I want to talk about this. Don Cherry saying, well, we don't want those liberal Americans moving up here because we got enough kooks here.
That is... being 28 years old, getting older is not fun. I have not had a lot of fun with getting older. I'm not gonna lie. And one of the things I've really struggled with over the last few years is watching my heroes disappear. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kind of becoming an adult and realizing it's not all fun and games. And let's just call those tweets what they are. It's a dog whistle. I know what you're saying, man. Mm-hmm. I know what you're saying. It's okay. You didn't have to say it. I know what you're saying.
Yep, I
What?
agree. And it's, well, the CBC, somebody actually tweeted the CBC and said, why do you still have this person on
Why
the
did they write a post about it?
Hold on.
Who made that decision?
So I showed this
dumb.
to Jesse.
I probably know who wrote it. That's the scary part.
I showed it to Jesse, sent it, just the replies to Don, and someone said, how CBC can you justify still having this on the air? And the CBC actually responded.
What'd they say? That's interesting.
It is very interesting. Get ready.
Sorry, I got...
No, man. I like the emotion. That's what this is about.
It's an awful feeling. You know when you ever almost get into a fight, but then you didn't? So then you're just sitting there with all of that? I think our friend who's a cop calls it an adrenaline dump. Mm-hmm. It's awful. It's a bad feeling. Sorry, what were you going to say, Jesse?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, the response from the CBC at CBC is, "Hi, Patrick. Mr. Cherry, along with the air staff of Hockey Night in Canada, are employees of Rogers Sportsnet. Period. Just a period."
Coward.
You think that's coward? So I think that was quite poignant. I think that says
They
a lot.
also use them for ratings every Saturday night.
Yeah, like how can
He's on
you
their
as
network.
CBC say that?
Because they're right. That's exactly what it is. I think. Hold on. I think you guys are.
Wait,
looking,
no,
I think
okay,
we're
maybe
looking
I'm
at this differently.
misinterpreting this.
I think you are
Okay,
misinterpreting
okay.
this.
Mhm.
They're saying, you know how Don Cherry was. You said dog whistle.
Yeah,
In not saying anything, he said something.
yeah.
I think the CBC, in not saying something, said something. As in, he's not our responsibility, but were he ... That's how I read that.
I think you could be right. I think so. That was two parts. Mm-hmm. He's not our responsibility. I think is definitely in there, but were he is the part I'm not sure about. I hope.
I
hope.
think it is.
Like that. It makes me sad. Like I would love to have him on the show. I don't
Jesse?
respect that.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do anything if he was their employee. I don't know.
You don't think so?
No, they would. What?
Well, they didn't.
Okay,
They didn't,
when women shouldn't be allowed in locker rooms, or talking about Frenchies and Europeans with visors, and you let it go on for years. You're no better.
And you know what?
Shut up.
I did. I'll put my hand up and say I did. I watched every segment. What's Don going to say? What ridiculous thing is going to come out of his mouth? And this is where
Yeah,
stepping up and saying something, now is the time.
We
So here's
we have used the word for Don Cherry incorrectly many times. That word is vintage.
I think the word now might be senile. Might be.
Just a dick.
Yeah.
Hope you're listening.
Yeah. And you know what? This could get us in big trouble. But the fact of the matter
kiss
is,
my ass. No, it won't.
I just think that this is the point where I'm done. This is the point where I'm done with Don Cherry. This is where it ends.
And that's kind of where I was at a couple minutes ago. Yeah.
This is where I stopped watching. This is where I stopped paying attention. I love your impression of him.
Yeah. Adam, I don't have that luxury. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if I do.
But
Like, I
no, I think you do. You do, no problem. Both of you do. I don't.
Or now, this is a moral conundrum. If you, because nothing I do counts towards ratings for anything, because I'm in media. If I watch and criticize, I could. That's still done with Don Cherry. That's still not.
And now,
See,
sorry.
I don't think you should. I think you should look at it the same way you look at Trump. Is like, okay, now it's time to fight this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should watch and fight it, and say every time he says something that's very, very wrong, you should say something about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what? I'll say it to Ron, who I've never met. I know you don't have a lot of time. Stop rolling your eyes. It's funny. It's funny TV, but say something.
Well, it's become
Say
less.
something. Use your mouth. Your eyes are funny.
It's
Use
become
your
less and less lighthearted lately. It's become very dark.
mouth. Nah.
So anyway, the fact of the matter is, and this is what I really wanted to get across on this: you are safe here, and I don't mean like safe space. Oh my God, safe space! Like I don't mean it like that airy fairy crap. I'm talking about you're in a community here where people accept you and accept everybody else for their differences. And by the way, if you don't, you're not welcome here. Stop listening. Stop downloading. Unsubscribe. We're not interested.
Yeah.
And
I would hope we've gotten messages from people who are like, I'm conservative.
That's fine. Be conservative.
That's fine.
No. And we've already had this conversation with a lot of them. They get it. And that's fine.
Okay.
I think they get it. And the ones that don't, we won't miss you.
No, we won't. We won't.
Sorry.
No skin off my back.
No. I mean, Alex Jones has a podcast.
Yeah.
Lots of content.
Every day.
Go for it.
Every single day he does. So
Go for it.
Guys, let's leave that in the past. We know what we need to do. We need to stand up. We need to say something. And let's get to hockey, shall we?
We can't leave it in the past, but we are here. I'm making an imaginary box.
Okay.
We're leaving it here.
We're leaving it here.
We're leaving
Make
it here right
the
now.
rallying cry to keep fighting for what's right.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesse. Now, when we come back, let's talk about some hockey, shall we? The thing that brings us all together. Shall we talk about the fact that Mike Babcock made his players skate in the dark? How
7-0,
awesome that
guys.
was! All right, that'll be what we talk about when we come back on the Steve Dangle podcast. So what do we get to first? Do we get to the great jersey freakout of 2016, or do we get to the Leafs bag skating in the dark?
Which great jersey freakout? I think
Yesterday's great jersey freakout. So, okay, you know what? Let's just talk about it. So the Leafs jersey apparently leaked online yesterday. And when
in the worst way.
Now, this is the sportslogos.net who actually did have the Leafs logo from this year before anybody else did.
They usually nail it, and I have it on good authority that they did.
That they nailed it?
That they nailed it?
I'm not going to say for sure that they nailed it, but supposedly that's very close to what it's going to be.
I would hazard a guess that they are way the hell off on this one. Now, if you see the jersey, it's blue. They've got a white.
I'll show it to the YouTube camera.
Yeah, it's basically got a white kind of.
It looks like a rugby uniform.
It looks like rugby.
It looks ugly.
It's a wrap around, and then there's gold on it, and it's ugly. And it's so bad that even like the Leafs Nation yesterday posted Jeffler posted like a 500-word essay about how terrible this is and how please God don't do this. This is why I think.
Yeah.
This is why I think that it's not real. The reason I think it's not real is because it's so ugly, and the Leafs have done so many great things this year with honoring the 100th year. There's no way anybody in that boardroom looks at that and goes, yep, that's the one.
I hope. So, okay, no leaks get out of the Leafs, right? No leaks get out of the Leafs. It seems it only comes when it's jerseys. Did you guys see that leaked Toronto Arenas jersey?
Yeah.
And it's got the NHL logo at the neck, and it looked like that's what they were going to go with for the Centennial Classic.
So there have been two quote-unquote leaks so far.
That was an all-right-looking jersey.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought it was cool.
And that could still be the jersey.
Could still be the jersey. You know what this jersey looks like to me, this leaked one? Remember, I want to say it was like early 2000s, they had those like knockoff but official Leafs jerseys with like it had like black stripes instead of
Oh, I don't remember those. No, I've never seen those.
And I wouldn't even know what to type in to find it. It looked like crap. I had one because it was the style at the time. It was all about making your jersey like darker and sharper.
Gothic.
A great example, the Blue Jays.
Oh.
The Blue Jays black jerseys. Mother of God.
Terrible.
Those
are
so
ugly.
bad.
These ones?
No. Oh my God. What the hell is that? That's not even a store jersey.
What did you type in for that?
Black Leafs jersey.
I think you typed in knockoff Loophole jersey. No, that's just a knockoff. And no, I'm not talking about the, I think they were called the Edge. Or no, the Ice jerseys where the jersey was just black.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Those, I mean, they were kind of cool. It's not an NHL jersey, really. Anyway, so no leak out of this organization. But I hope that what they did was what I've suggested for a while now. Come up with a few designs. Mm-hmm. Leak the one you like most, and if everyone says it's garbage, go back to the drawing board. There's enough time to make a change, I think. I hope they went, yeah, that looks good, and then leaked it, and they're going, oh dear. Oh, we were wrong.
Oopsies.
What do you mean we have a white logo on a white stripe?
That's
what
why.
What do you mean it's just a Panthers jersey with a leaf?
When you look at the jersey, you just nailed it right there. What do you mean we have a white jersey or white leaf on a white stripe? No, there's no way they would go with that. There's just no way. It's not possible. That's too ugly.
It looks like crap. Now,
not even the Sabres would go for that now.
I would. Whoa.
Yeah.
And they went with the Buffalo.
They've evolved.
What I would say is, so this jersey will probably look better on the ice. Still not much better.
Do you really think this is the one?
Here's what confuses me. The picture they leaked is an infant jersey.
That's what I'm talking about.
All infant jerseys, when they're not being held up by a girl going, ah, or on an actual infant, look like crap. Because it's like awkward fitting infant clothes. Like they don't have the same body as a grown-up. Why would you leak the infant jersey?
Well, I don't think they would have intentionally done that. I just don't think. Look this up. We'll post it on the Reddit page so everybody can see it. Because people have been requesting. I just post all my prep on the Reddit page. Like every link that I have, just post it. I honestly, there's no possible way that's the jersey. It's again, leaf outlined in gold with
I think it's silver.
A white flash around. I guess it's like a white. It's almost like they took a white scarf and wrapped it around a Blue Leafs jersey, and the scarf also has gold around the edging of that, and then the rest of it's blue. It looks
like crap.
It looks like crap. It looks like crap. So
it looks like a rugby jersey. It looks like a knockoff.
Do we care too much about a jersey?
And then there's that.
It's also just a jersey. Who cares?
It is just a jersey. But you know what? The Leafs Winter Classic jerseys from when they played Detroit, a lot of people thought those were really sharp, and a lot of people bought them. And there are a lot of Jonathan Bernier Winter Classic jerseys floating around the city. A lot of Kessels, a lot of guys who aren't here anymore. But it's because the jersey looked good. I'm
hedging my bets that that's not the jersey. I will put money on it. There's no way.
If I get that jersey, I'm getting it for free. I would not pay money for that.
You would wear that? I wouldn't even wear it.
I'd wear it in the Winter Classic video and then probably just around the basement if I was cold. No, I wouldn't pay money for that.
All right.
And again, if you listen to the show, let us know because they got it wrong. Leafs,
they got it wrong. Listening, look at this. When you see this jersey, you're going to know they got it wrong. Yeah,
this is your money in the bank demographic. If you are listening to the show, you are throwing money. You're throwing fistfuls at the NHL annually.
You'll take one look at this. I guarantee this between you and I, and you'll be like, "Yeah, no, that's not the jersey." Not only is that's fake. That's not the thing. That's not the jersey. They got it wrong, 100%, and nothing against them personally. But they got it wrong. Period.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you get Adam and myself, preferably just me, into the Winter Classic game? Because tickets, the cheapest ticket available for fans is $299.
Is that all?
Mrs. Dangle looked into that today. Actually,
they went on sale this morning.
Yeah, let me try to find her text because she actually tried to get them.
They're still available.
Without telling me.
You can go on right now and buy a ticket for $299.
I mean, they're still available, but
what's $299
$329 each. $329 each.
There you go.
She said she found some on StubHub for $180, I think, but I think that's before the fee, and I think that's before taking into account that that's American dollars.
It's in US dollars, yeah.
That's something that I would say to my fiance. I know you like hockey because she likes hockey.
Yeah,
but I'd be like, you maybe don't want to come to this because it's so cold. It's also extremely expensive, so maybe we can only afford one ticket.
It's bad. You're not in the hockey arena.
No. What's BMO? It's different. It's different.
I think it'll be.
It'll be a little better.
It'll be a little bit better. Yeah, for sure. Because BMO's smaller, right? Okay. It is, and the field on the pitch is much smaller. It's not like a football stadium. Although, yes, they have the Argos.
You know what? Gillette Stadium was a really, really, really cool atmosphere last year. I was there. It was a really, really cool atmosphere. Couldn't see the game.
How many times did you see the puck, Steve?
You couldn't see the game.
Exactly.
It's good. I'm sure if you. See, I didn't watch a lot of the game from like the center of the ice. I usually watch it from behind the net. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there you're not seeing the puck ever. If you were sitting at center ice and you were high up enough, I suppose you would have seen it for most of the time. But because it's not hockey arenas, the slant is sharp.
Yeah.
It's football's too flat. BMO might be okay.
It's a little sharper.
Because it's a little sharper and it's smaller, so it might be okay. But generally speaking, NHL hockey and an NHL... Or sorry, in an NFL stadium.
Well,
it's cool. It's a cool experience. Don't go if you want to really analyze the game. You're not going to see the thing.
Barring anything weird, I'll be on a plane to Florida. So,
you just got to sneak me in now. That's it.
And so sorry. The second part of that was I sent an email to my boss like, "Hey, so am I going to get a press pass for this?" And I haven't received a response yet. So I don't think I'm going to the Winter Classic because how? How am I going to get in?
oh, just use your mortgage payment.
I'm not. No, if that's what they cost, I'm not buying it.
Well,
because I can't reconcile that.
Steve is hand talking more than Donald Trump right now.
I can't. I can't. Yeah, but I'm palms up. That's the difference.
So I was going to use the Leaf game as a distraction, as I think many of us were from the election the other night, and boy. I would have rather watched the election than watch that. Oh. That was one of the worst games I've seen, probably since, Nashville 9-2?
See, didn't the Leafs lose 7-0 last year to the Sharks? What was the score of that game? Jesse's on it. So I think they lost 7-0 to the Sharks, something along those lines. They lost 9-2 to Nashville. At least in the 9-2 loss to Nashville, they scored 2 goals. And they were outclassed in that game. I remember they were completely outclassed. In the Sharks game, I remember they were bad. They made a lot of bad mistakes, and the Sharks, a superior team, capitalized on them.
Yes, on January 9th of last year, the Leafs lost 7-0 to San Jose.
Boom.
Wow.
So I remember they were bad against Nashville. And at least they scored 2 goals. They were bad against the Sharks and outclassed against the Sharks. Against the Kings, it didn't look like they tried.
Yeah.
We're talking about the team. The Leafs have one of the best shot differentials in the NHL. And they were outshot almost 4-1. Or 3-1 or something like that.
And we know LA's deep. We know they've got... they're pretty solid, man. I mean, come on.
Well, yes, but... The Leafs are not what they were just prior to the trade deadline last year. They're not this husk of a garbage team. Yeah, they're full of rookies, blah, blah, blah. We've seen enough of them in wins and losses that they're competitive. This was garbage.
What was this? So what is this?
This was a team deserving of an ass kicking. Not from the Kings, from Mike Babcock. And I've been giving it to Mike Babcock a little bit this year. You know how many points he earned in my books, and I think a lot of people's books, when he was bag skating that team at the MCC, the light shut out, and he said, "Guess what, stupid? Keep skating." They deserved it. They deserved it. They did. I'm trying to think of a player who looked good.
There wasn't one.
I stopped watching like halfway through the game. I had it in the corner. I had a picture-in-picture. It was in the corner, and I had the stupid coverage on the main screen.
I like how you described that. I thought that was articulate and to the point.
On the TV.
You had a second screen on your TV.
Here, sorry.
You also said picture-in-picture and then proceeded to describe the picture-in-picture.
I'm going to go ahead and chug the rest of my coffee.
You had it on picture-in-picture. One was on the small, and then the other was on the big one. Oh, wait, so you had it on picture-in-picture.
So that's how as bad the Toronto Maple Leafs were.
Are you saying that there was a picture within a picture, Steve?
So, all right, I don't know how this stuff works, but it's like they got these elves in the TV, and they took the one picture and they put it in the corner, and then the rest of the TV was the rest of the TV. How many elves they got working in that thing? Oh, what an idiot.
We love you, man.
Remember when we waxed poetically for like 25 minutes?
That's long in the past. So now they got their ass kicking. Now we see, it's Philadelphia tomorrow night, right? Am I wrong?
It's either Philly or Pittsburgh. I can't remember which they play first.
Oh, no, Philly Saturday? I don't know.
Let me check.
We got a Pennsylvania, an all-Pennsylvania lineup.
Road trip. Yeah.
And both teams will be tough. I mean, Pittsburgh a little bit more than Philly because Crosby has more goals than games.
Philly-Pittsburgh.
Philly-Pittsburgh. Okay.
Okay, so it's Philly Friday.
So Philly Friday night. What do you think we're going to see? We know what we're hoping to see. What do you think we're going to see? We obviously want a team that's motivated. What are you going to see?
I know players don't like being bag skated. They're going to skate. They're going to skate their brains out against Philly. And look, they don't have to win. They could lose both games. Philly's a decent team. Pittsburgh's reigning Stanley Cup champions. You could lose both games. They could lose to LA 4-3, 3-2, 4-2. Look like you're playing a hockey game. What the hell was that? Didn't I call it? Didn't I call it last show?
What'd you say?
I mean, so much has happened. Jesse's nodding.
What'd he say?
Everyone forgets because so much has happened.
They come out flat and they wouldn't be there.
And they'd be fat and happy.
Yeah.
They won 3 straight games. It doesn't matter that they got their teeth kicked in by Edmonton and Buffalo shot-wise. They won those games, right? They won 3 straight games. The last one was a fiery affair on Hockey Night in Canada against a Canadian opponent, and everyone's talking about how good they are. And it was on a Saturday night. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not accusing them of anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went out, celebrated. Hey, we got the next 2 days off. Yeah. And then, hey, I think all Leafs fans should be thanking the LA Kings right now. Thank you. Thank you, teacher, for showing the student what's up. They killed them. They killed them and they deserved it.
We got to wrap it up here on the radio portion. When we get back, when you download this podcast at sportsnet.ca, we've got a lot more to talk about, including the NHL and NHLPA participating in the 2018 Winter Olympics. And because a lot of listeners reached out about just being a little bit depressed, it was almost like you're in a bad fight in a relationship. And yes, you've come to a truce, but the next day you're still in recovery mode because it was emotionally exhausting.
It was like taking a shower and then coming out of the shower and realizing you have to take a poop. And you're like,
now you get back in the shower.
Now I'm going to be dirty again.
Oh, you nailed it. Okay, so that...
You're like, I thought America was clean. And then you get out and you realize, I'm dirty.
So... This podcast is brought to you by Panago Pizza, by the way. It's what's on the inside that counts. We are going to bring out the big guns. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do a little 50 Shades of Cole. We're going to do a little What's Up in Liberty Village. And we're going right back to one of the first seasons of the Steve Dangle podcast. We're going pre-Jesse. And I'm not going to tell you what it means.
I don't even remember.
But if anybody who can remember that, it's going to be a good time. Ooh. Good times await at sportsnet.ca. Before we get into the fun stuff, Steve has some really boring, obnoxious news and is going to delay you from hearing 50 Shades of Cole because he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you.
Or your parents.
Oh, whoa. Or your dog.
Your dog's fine. Your dog's fine.
Are you sure? I mean, your dog's fine, but it's no Iggy.
No. Well, I'm sure Iggy would be friends with them, though.
All dogs are good. Stop it, Des.
All dogs are good. My mom's macaroni and cheese rock bottom's yours, though.
I want your mom's mac and cheese, by the way.
It's the best. Now I want it. Damn it. Anyway.
Christmas.
This from James Myrtle. Anderson expected to start against Philadelphia and Roth in Pittsburgh.
I was reading Elliot Friedman's 30 Thoughts this week, and I thought it was interesting because he said, a lot of us instantly thought when Kerry Ramos showed up at Leafs practice that maybe one of the two Marlies goalies was on the hot seat. And Bibo winning goaltender of the month in the AHL, it obviously seems like it might be Garrett Sparks, right?
Should I tell my embarrassing story?
Hang on to that.
Okay.
Yes. Elliot Friedman said that, should you tell that story?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
I'll tell it.
Elliot Friedman said that he thinks Jonas Enroth is the one who is on the hot seat.
I gotta read that.
It was one sentence.
Yeah,
it was in the 20s.
That's interesting.
I had considered that. He hasn't been bad.
No.
They've put him in bad situations.
Do we know any? Could it be a personality thing? Could it be the goaltending coach is going, I don't get it with this guy? Is it they don't like what is it?
Well, okay, when they got Freddie Anderson, I mean, they basically said what they wanted, right? They wanted a big goalie, and then they waited and they waited and they waited, and they got Enroth out of the bargain bin for $750,000, which is a wicked deal, but he is not Freddie Anderson.
But you don't have a Freddie Anderson backup. That's
no.
okay.
No. But what I'm saying, is he's tiny.
Oh, stature-wise. Okay.
Kerry Ramos, huge. And I guess they figure if Enroth doesn't put up the numbers, and we know Ramo doesn't put up the numbers, but maybe he does have some history of success.
Was he not the starting goaltender when they went to the playoffs?
When he was splitting games with Hiller.
Okay. And Hiller was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, they both were at times. But if you reduce his workload, make him a backup, and at least he's huge and your goalie coach feels he can work with him, that does make him a better fit than Enroth. You can move Enroth, I think. You can move him.
People want him?
People wanted Mike Condon.
Yeah, then you can move Jonas Enroth. And you know what? His numbers, his advanced, like his talking about just normal stats, advanced stats, pretty good. And actually, in terms of goaltender advanced stats, above what you would hope or what you would think his pay grade is. You know what I mean?
I haven't read much of that.
He's actually, I believe. I read this summer, and this is why I'm saying I believe, because I can't substantiate it, but I believe there were a few articles done on that, that the Leafs should sign Jonas Enroth because he's kind of a diamond in the rough.
Man, I was saying that in like May. Like, well, we'll see how it goes. Should I tell my embarrassing story?
Yes, please. This is...
So what I said in the most recent Marlies thing that I wrote, so Garrett Sparks just played his third game of the season. That's it. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
And he won it. He was great in his first game. Got shelled in his second game. I don't think he played for a while. And then he played his third game and was great again. So he's only played 3 games. Terrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the Marlies' 10th game. So 3 out of 10. No, he's not splitting games with Bebo.
But he's playing 30%.
No, he's not the starter. But yeah, so it's not like he's getting crushed.
No.
Also, Bebo won AHL Goalie of the Month. Sheldon Keefe would have been dumb to take him out of the net. He was hot. And then he faltered, and then Garrett Sparks got a start. So, but I got to admit, I drank the Kool-Aid and was like, I wonder if Garrett Sparks is out. And what sparked that, was I got a tweet from someone asking me. And at some point, that's going to come to a head, right? So Enroth is only here for 1 year. Let's say nothing happens there. Mm-hmm. Enroth is here for 1 year. You got Bebo, who I think is going to be 20. I think Bebo and Sparks will both be 23 at the end of the season. I might be wrong. Sparks might be 24. Kasimir Kaski-Swo is going to be 23. We'll see how he does in the ECHL. The Leafs really do need to decide what their future in net is.
Or their future, because their future in net is Freddie Anderson.
Right. No, but you need a backup.
Yeah, for sure.
You need a backup. You can't have one goalie.
But you need 30 games.
You can't have one goalie. Well, I mean, you can. You can be the Montreal Canadiens and have 13 wins in 15 games. But if he gets hurt...
Well, what happened when they didn't... What happened to Montreal when they didn't start Carey Price?
I'm not going to put that... I'm not putting that on Al Montoya.
I'm putting it on the Canadiens. I think they packed up shop and decided to stop trying.
Yeah.
I think it was the same thing with the Leafs the other night.
When you're 9-0-1, you can afford to take a day off.
Oh, poor Al Montoya.
Sure, but poor Al Montoya.
They didn't feel like playing defense in front of him.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Quick side note. A lot of people were dumping on Michel Therrien for leaving him in. Al Montoya is a G. He is exactly what you want in a backup goalie. Remember the game against the Leafs last year? I think Luongo got pulled because he hurt himself. He, I think, went to the hospital.
Yes.
To get checked out.
Yes, I do.
Montoya, tore his groin mid-game, but had to keep playing. Their goalie coach, I can't remember his name. I think it starts with an S. He was 53 years old. He did get dressed up. He was waiting in the tunnel. And then you see Luongo in his suit rushed back from the hospital clearly and was like, put me in. Put me in because he's, I guess, watching Montoya going, well, I'm not hurt as bad as this guy is. Montoya stayed in the game, and if I remember correctly, could barely move, and Panthers won. I think.
Wow.
And he didn't play for the rest of the season. He hurt himself so bad. Montoya he knows what he is. He's exactly what I want in a backup goalie. Man, Freddie Anderson, Al Montoya sounds like a nice little tandem. That would have been nice.
Now let's hold off here for a second because we have a story to get to.
Yes, sorry. So
Bebo is hot. Goaltender of the month.
Goaltender of the
Garrett
month.
Sparks started 3 games.
The Leafs need to figure out what they're doing in net. So I got that tweet and I go, maybe Garrett Sparks is on his way out. And I texted someone. I go, let me ask you something. Do you think Garrett Sparks is on his way out? And then I went, when I saw at the top of the screen, the name was Garrett.
John Garrett? Isn't that a writer?
No.
Try to think of other famous Garretts. There aren't many.
There's not a lot.
So what Garrett would that have been, Steve?
It might have been Garrett S.
Gary Sparkman? Number 40?
One.
I think I mean I know. I sent it to Garrett Sparks.
Who gave you Garrett Sparks' number?
Oh, I had it a long time ago. I think it was when he was drafted by the Leafs, but he was still with the Guelph Storm, and I interviewed him a couple times.
So you asked Garrett Sparks if Garrett Sparks was out the door.
I didn't say that, but
What did you say?
I said, so it's even worse. Someone tweeted me something believable.
Oh!
Think Sparks is already out too?
Oh!
Oh, wow.
And then once you realized it, what did you do?
My next text and last text, by the way. Oh, and it says read, so he read it. Good. That's good.
He probably turned on his read receipts just so you know.
Dot. Well, this is incredibly awkward. I'm sorry. That's all I sent to him. Oh, fuck that.
And so ended the relationship of Steve Dangle and Garrett Sparks.
No,
So next time you're in the locker room, what happens? Dressing
Well,
room.
I won't be in the locker room, but I will.
They don't allow you in the locker room. It's the Marlies.
I will. Well, because I'm gonna go down to Rico and I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna have to pull him aside and say, "Look, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And look, that happens. That does happen sometimes. This someone, I won't name them, pissed off Sheldon Keefe last year, Marlies head coach, and it was their first interaction with them, and it was a bad one.
How do you make Sheldon Keefe? Is he cantankerous? Is he guy on the edge?
He's very hard to read emotionally.
Okay.
Hard to read emotionally. Not that I know him well. I've spoken to him a few times. Been involved in a few of his scrums. He's hard to read. I'll leave it at that. He's hard to read. And I said to the guy, because the guy was freaking out, and I'm like, dude, just pull him aside and talk to him. Just talk about, did you come across the way you wanted to come across? Like if you guys got into like a one-on-one argument, that's one thing. But he didn't come across the way he wanted to come across. I'm like, so just pull him aside and talk to him. And that's what he did, and then they were fine after that. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Hey guys, what do you think will happen? Quick prediction.
He'll punch me.
No. No. This is great.
Something else?
Quick prediction. NHL and NHLPA are meeting next week to discuss the Olympics in 2018. By the way, that's like a year and a bit away. I'm surprised they're waiting this long. Given how the World Cup went, which was okay until Canada-Europe. I mean, let's be honest. What happens if the NHL says, nah, not going? How do the players handle it?
We are on the online-only portion,
Yes,
right?
we are.
I hope players with fuck you money use that money to say fuck you. Ovechkin's got fuck you money. And his owner doesn't care. Ted Leonsis, I think, has said, yeah, go ahead. Now, I think his opinion might change if the Caps are a playoff bubble team. But Ovechkin's got fuck you money. And if he says he's going, he's going.
Jesse?
I hope they decide that they will let the players play in the NHL, in the Olympics, so we don't have that situation.
Uh-huh.
Because I think a lot of people will be upset and try and go if they're told they can't go.
And also, maybe I got my tinfoil hat on a little bit too much, but let's say Ovechkin goes, Malkin goes, I think we suspect the Russians are going.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some guy with the initials VP just goes, "Good boy," and just starts peeling some things off, peeling off some rubles.
It wouldn't surprise me if we'll just we'll make up any money you lost.
Yeah. Give them hell.
A gold medal.
Give them hell.
A little more.
Give them hell. Yeah. Give them hell. Let them eat cake.
Comrade.
Yeah, give them hell,
I think
comrade.
they have to go. Too many people will be upset.
They have to go.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. It's about, I mean, we've talked about this many, many, many times, but it is always about growing the game.
You're not a big enough sport to ignore the Olympics. You're not.
No. And the other thing the NHL needs to get away from is the fact that in all international, outside of North America, this is a regular thing. Stars leave teams all the time. It happens. It wouldn't surprise me if we'll just we'll make up any money you lost.
Yeah. Give them hell.
A gold medal.
Give them hell.
A little more.
Give them hell. Yeah. Give them hell. Let them eat cake.
Comrade.
Yeah. Give them hell,
I think they have to go. Too many people will be upset.
They have to go.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. It's about, I mean, we've talked about this many, many, many times, but it is always about growing the game.
You're not a big enough sport to ignore the Olympics. You're not.
No. And the other thing the NHL needs to get away from is the fact that in all international, outside of North America, this is a regular thing. Stars leave teams all the time. It happens in the MLS. Where, we lose Javinko, we lose Bradley, we lose Josie Altidore to their various national teams when they got to go play games.
Mm-hmm. Soccer.
Because what does it do, guys? It grows the game. That's right.
Soccer, I think, is big enough to say screw you to the Olympics, at least men's soccer.
But they don't. They don't. It's the big.
The Olympics is under 22, I believe.
Only under 22?
Yeah. That's part of the reason Brazil won. Because what's his name? Neymar?
Yeah,
Neymar.
Yeah. The men's Olympic soccer is, I believe, under 22 or under 23.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They don't play in the Olympics.
Yeah. Women's, I think, is everyone.
Women's is everyone. Yeah.
Baseball is big enough to say screw you. I think there might be Olympic baseball.
Yeah, it was taken away last Olympics, and I think they're trying to get it back.
Because none of the best players go.
Yeah.
They don't go.
It's during the middle of the season. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't go. Oh, that too. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. And I mean, baseball just has too many games. Mm-hmm. Like the NHL, they have a hard enough time. Mm-hmm. Baseball, there's too many games.
You can't miss 14 games in 2 weeks.
It just makes me laugh because the NHL is like, oh my God, what a disruption. And it's literally, you miss out maybe 5 games max.
They take out the All-Star game, which no one cares about.
Yeah. And then you extend the season 2 effing weeks. Like, chill. What's the deal?
So soccer can say screw you. Baseball can say screw you. The NFL can say screw you. The NBA doesn't say screw you, and I don't think they can, actually, to be honest. A few teams do really well. A lot of them don't.
I think America would reject it if the NBA was like, no. Because the dream team, baby.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Man, that was in, what year was that?
Every team is the dream team. They're America.
That is true. Except for the time
They're
they
the
lost.
new dream team.
Except for the time they lost.
And the American players care about it.
Yeah. And I guarantee you that baseball players would care if they were allowed to go. Yeah. They're allowed to go once. That's why the MLB won't let them go. Because if they're allowed to go once, they'll always want to go.
Anyway, what I was building to was the NHL is nowhere near big enough to say no to this type of event. They're not. They're not. I hope they come to some kind of agreement. NHL maybe has some gripes because the Olympics keep saying we're not going to pay for this or we're not going to pay for that. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm. And the IIHF can be a little bit...
Yeah, figure it out. Do something to figure it out, guys. You're not big enough to say no to this.
There you go. All right.
And I would say to the Winter Olympics, like what events get the highest ratings? Other than hockey, like what's the draw? And I'm asking as a Canadian who literally does not know. Like hockey is the biggest draw to me.
Yeah.
I know figure skating does well. Mm-hmm. Curling in the States.
Curling does really well for Canada.
Does curling do well?
In Canada.
In Canada.
Oh, are you talking about...
I'm talking about worldwide. I know figure skating does well in the States. Biathlon?
Russian figure skaters, they take that very seriously as well. They're China as well. I would imagine... Speed skating, figure skating, skiing, snowboarding. Those would be the mountain sports are big.
Long track speed skating might be the most boring event, like winter or summer Olympics. I went to an event in Vancouver. I did not know what was going on.
Maybe that's why it was boring. That's like going to a baseball game.
It's a race! The guy that crossed the thing first wins! It should be that easy, but it's like it doesn't even look fast. The short track speed skating is bonkers.
It's great.
Bonkers.
It's like rugby sevens. Rugby sevens is amazing.
It is rugby sevens. The fastest skater almost never wins because someone takes them out.
Yeah, it's great.
That's why Canada missed out on so many medals last Olympics. Their guys kept falling down.
What's the snowboarding event where they're like snowboard
Where
cross?
it's 4 people and there's all right.
Oh, that's the best.
That is the greatest.
That's the best.
Yeah, none of this BS about one at a time. No. I want to see elbows
And
flying.
they have it with BMX bikes now in the summer games.
Oh,
Yeah.
so wicked.
Yeah.
So cool.
I think I missed a lot of that. Yeah. Who was the Canadian? The snowboarder.
Oh, don't even try to remember.
McMorris. Something
Mark
McMorris. Mark McMorris. Oh, that was an exciting event.
It was great. It was great.
But, so, okay, we're talking about all this crazy X Games stuff that they've added recently.
Yeah.
But, like, if we're talking about the stuff that they always had, like, what draws other than
I
figure
would say
skating?
figure skating is the number one Olympics winter sport.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
But you need,
High profile.
you can't just have one sport. You need a roster. Like, I would say the 100-meter dash is probably the biggest draw of the Summer Olympics,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you have a roster of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, stories present themselves, and you get drawn to athletes.
When
and, you know.
Mayyybe Saleh and David Peltier were robbed of the gold medal at the Olympics because of the Russian judge being a Russian judge. Take that.
How dare you.
Take that to mean how you want it.
How dare
And then they, when they were robbed
Wasn't it
of that.
the French judge?
Oh, was it a French judge?
I think it was the French
It was the
judge.
Russian pair French judge. You're
you go.
right.
I just remember the Robin Williams bit. I like life. They fucked up. I give the gold medal to them.
You're right. So it was the French judge Russian pairing, and it was a national story in the United States. 2 Canadians.
Oh, it was a
Figure
huge
sk-
controversy.
But when is that ever a national? When is anything that we do in sport a national story in the United States? That's how big figure skating is. That's my point.
Figure skating is big, but there's no roster. It's a shallow roster beneath it
Yes.
for the Winter Olympics. I think the NHL and the Winter Olympics need each other. Mm-hmm. I hope they come to that realization.
Uh-huh.
And they stop playing hardball with each other, and they go into it not with the idea that it might not happen. Go into it trying to find a resolution. Okay? We want to watch, guys. We want to watch. Mm-hmm. I think.
Lest we do what's right for the game. Steve,
Not going to happen.
we have a very special request
Okay.
that you do 50 Shades of Cool. But first, we're going to ask Jesse what's up in Liberty Village.
Oh, lovely.
All right, so Jesse, what do we got this? Because we said today we're going to bring out the big guns. We're going to have some fun. So I want to know what's up in our favorite hood. What's going on?
Well, they were going to build a road in Liberty Village, and I thought it was going to be ridiculous.
Build a road?
Yeah, they're going to make a new road where behind all of the condos. So Liberty Village, there's a street. It's called East Liberty, and there's a whole bunch of condos that just line that street. And behind there, they're going to build another street.
Now, is this a street in and out of Liberty Village?
Yes.
Because here's the problem with Liberty Village. If you've never been there, for anybody listening outside of the GTA, and we know there's a ton of you, there is one street in and one street out.
It's a pain in the ass.
50,000 people live in a 2-block radius, and there's one street in, one street out.
There's literally 2 entrances to Liberty Village. So they're going to expand that and build a whole nother street.
Yay!
And I thought there'd be some crazy, ridiculous thing in there. And no, it was just a good idea.
Okay.
There should be another road.
They're gonna have to tear down a 75-year-old tree in order to build this road, and we can't have that.
They are going to get rid of some green space. But along the road, they're expected to put some bike lanes and a little park.
Oh,
You can't not have bike lanes at Liberty
golf
Village.
claps.
Yeah.
Golf claps.
So-
Has nobody protested it yet? I thought there'd be some protest.
No, it's been all good.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
But Tim here.
Oh, Tim.
But
There's
Tim.
always a Tim.
Tim won a 3-month subscription to Texture.
What is texture?
It is Adam.
Why don't you know that, Steve? It's a Rogers product. So Texture.
And while you're at it, why don't you tell me what Show Me is as well?
No. Next issue,
How many other ways can I get in trouble?
which is now Texture,
Tell us about Netflix.
it's like the Netflix of magazines. We've advertised the crap out of it.
Oh, I've heard of texture.
Yeah. So you got a 3-month subscription.
You won a 3-month subscription to
Tim.
Texture. Tim, sorry, Steve.
I would kill for one now that I know what it is.
He just wants to know if anyone wants it. So he's offering that on
What?
the Village page.
Wait, well, why?
I guess that's nice.
He's giving it away.
He's not going to use it.
I don't know.
Because he knows he's not going to use it.
Do you give them your username and password? Like, how do you give that away?
Code? I don't know. Can't you just get a free 3-month subscription with anything when you first sign up?
Yeah. That is ridiculous.
That was a small one.
Okay.
So is that what's up in Lib Vig?
Right now, that's what's up.
Okay. I want to do my...
Is that it?
No, we got some other things.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Oh my God. I was going to say,
Jesse's making us wait.
I want to do my best performance for 50 Shades of Cole. I thought I could hold it. I've never had to go to the bathroom this bad in my entire life.
Okay. Well,
Can I please go?
We can pause. You go.
Okay.
Go. We're pausing the episode. Jesse, what else is going on in Liberty Village?
Jules is selling 3 abstract canvases. Now, that's not so strange, right?
No.
Is that
cool.
just...
Is she an artist?
Like, what makes it abstract?
That's what we need to get to. We need to take a look at these canvases.
Okay. Are we going to post these on a Reddit page?
They will come up on the video,
Okay.
and I will link them in the Reddit page.
And if anybody, in case anybody wants to contact Jules, you know where to find her.
Do you ever insert graphics? Or,
Occasionally if we're talking about something, I'll put it over the video.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Production
Not very
values. I like it. All right.
I just need you guys to look at these canvases that she needs to sell.
Okay.
Because there's a red one and a green one.
Here, I'll go on Adam's side.
They're abstract. Okay. So we're going to share this microphone, Steve.
Yes.
Jules would like to sell these.
They're used.
They look like murder.
They
Oh,
look
wait.
like just red paint.
So she's trying to sell art.
Yeah.
I thought she was trying to be like, hey, I got these spare canvases if any artist wants to use them.
No.
She made some art and she wants to sell them. Do you want to
It's like art, but with heart.
Can you describe it
You
see
for
what I'm
the
saying?
listening audience?
It's art, but without any artistic anything.
Oh, all right. Well, here's the thing, Jules. You know, everybody can see things differently when it comes to art, and I get that. But what it looks like, it was a black canvas that's then painted over red.
There's a green version.
It's really block color. That's not block color at all.
No. Okay, you know
It's
what?
an entire canvas painted one color.
No, it's not, Jesse. It's 95% of the canvas painted one color. The rest is unpainted. But it says something, man. Wasn't it you, Adam, or someone we know? I can't remember who it was. Someone we know knows someone who just one day decided, I'm just gonna make goofy crap out of spare parts of things. And wouldn't you know it, it sells for hundreds of dollars each.
Yeah.
And it really is just that crap. I mean,
Hey, art is in the eye of the beholder, sir.
it is.
I'm
I
I'm
would not
ripping
personally
Jules for
buy it.
that. There's lots of houses I've walked into that with artwork just like that. So good on you, Jules. If you can sell it, if you can make a business, good on you. What else is going on?
You know what? I shouldn't hate on an artist. What am I doing? I have a Leaf video.
Well, you're
blog.
allowed
That's
not
stupid.
to like the art.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's
I'm not
what
a
kills
fan.
me. You are allowed. People will get mad, but you're allowed to not like stuff. It's okay.
For it to be impressive art, does it have to be hard to do?
That's subjective.
Whoa.
That's what art is. It's subjective.
Whoa, light one up and talk about that one for a while.
Jesse?
Aracelia. Aracelia? Aracelia.
I would say Aracelli or Aracelli.
Aracelli? Aracelli. Let's go with Aracelli.
Might be an Italian name.
Yeah. She has a complaint because the GO trains are too loud.
Oh. Now, for anybody that doesn't know what a GO train is, that is our train that gets everybody from, outside of Toronto to inside
From
of Toronto.
Oshawa to Toronto.
Exactly. What'd she say?
We have an opportunity to address this with Metrolinx. Do you find the GO trains very loud? They're holding open house discussions, and they're planning to increase passenger trains along the rail system. There are health implications with noise and residents of Liberty Village. This should be a priority before adding more trains.
No, the priority is getting bums in seats and getting them downtown and making them productive. How you sleep because you bought a condo next to a railroad, knowing that there were tracks across the street, that is not Metrolinx's problem. That's your problem. That is your problem. And you know what? Maybe take it up with the building that built it and didn't put in pane glass mirror that was thick enough to block that out. But the tracks are like at least 150 meters away or more.
I'm curious to know how long this person has lived there. Because I grew up like a couple hundred meters away from a train station. So that not only trains going in and out, but ding, 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 the bell going off all the time, honking the train horn, whatever the hell you call it. The train horn.
The whistle.
Which annoyed my back shins. But as a result, because I grew up in that house for the first 24 years of my life, I could sleep through a nuclear attack.
Yeah. And guess what? You get used to it.
If you grow up in a quiet neighborhood and then you move to Liberty Village, you might have a bad time.
Then you accept the fact that you are downtown.
Yeah, but you can't just accept the fact that you can't freaking sleep.
No, Steve, yes. I, last night, was woken up to an ambulance and 3 fire trucks going by.
Because you live next to a police station. Not just downtown, next to a police station.
And it wasn't even police cars. It was an ambulance and fire trucks. It wasn't even police cars. And you know what? I go, well, they're out there doing their job because this goes beyond me as a guy who needs an extra little bit of sleep. If you live next to trains, if you are buying next to trains and you know that you can't sleep, that's your problem. And we do need more transit in this city. Are you crazy? That drives me insane.
Should the priority of the city of Toronto be less trains and better sleep for Liberty Village residents or more trains?
And by the way, the trains don't run past 11 o'clock at night.
Midnight. Something like that.
You're
Which
fine.
is nuts, by the way.
Which, it needs to change as well.
It needs to go to at least 2.
It's crazy.
It needs to go to at least 2.
Buses till like 3, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
Who hasn't taken the drunk bus to, I love the drunk bus, and it takes forever.
Vomit comet.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bathroom on those things. I've luckily never had to find out.
There's a very dangerous Uber driver.
Very dangerous
Uber dangerous driver. Uber driver.
Yeah, he's been really aggressive.
No, that's impossible.
And this
Uber's great.
They're always popping out of the bushes.
By the way, did you see Julie Stewart-Binks' tweet? Friend of the show, Julie Stewart-Binks?
Is she friend of the show?
She is.
Friend of Steve.
She's a friend of Steve.
Never met her.
Therefore, what's the show called now?
You're right. How can I forget? Julie Stewart-Binks, Fox Sports reporter.
Yeah. Reporter, anchor.
How do we know her?
Reporter.
Steve knows her.
I know her. That's the
How do you know her?
From...
She used to work here and in CTV Winnipeg, right?
Oh, okay.
Where did I meet her? I met her at Leafs TV, and then we covered the
We definitely
Memorial
need
Cup
to go.
together.
We definitely need to go into how Steve met her for sure.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, she was in an Uber recently.
She was eating popcorn, and I was having a Coke.
She was in an Uber. She tweeted that she was in an Uber, and the Uber driver turned his music up so that he could try to stealthily piss in a cup.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
But she obviously knew what was going on. And I guess she didn't say anything because she just wanted to get to her destination.
That's funny. That is weird too. How do you stealthily pee in a cup? I want to ask her about that. Can we have her on?
I'm confused. Okay, I need an Uber driver because I think some do listen to the show. I need you to explain your workload because a lot of cab drivers I think do that because they're basically ordered to. Uber drivers, can't you just
sign on, sign off?
Aren't you your own boss?
Yeah.
Stop. Just
you might have
over.
been. She's in LA though. Traffic.
I had an Uber driver the other day tell me that working downtown is really hard because there's nowhere to stop. You can't just run into a Tim Hortons like you can in the suburbs because you can't park at a Tim Hortons downtown. There's no, you gotta pay for parking.
There's no
That
drive-throughs.
is true.
Yeah. BS.
And there's no drive-throughs.
I had the best Uber driver ever a couple of weeks ago, and it was because he knew the neighborhood. He knew where he was going. He goes, "Do you want me to take this street? Because I know this street is bad at this time." And I was like, I was about to say that. Thank you, best friend. I'll go home, please.
There's
and
also
then he took me home.
apps for that. So you don't need to know anywhere
Waze?
anymore.
Is it Waze? No, I heard that's full of malware. Spyware.
Also, Google Maps.
Also updates traffic.
Google Maps, I find, takes some time to update.
No, I use it all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear what about the dangerous Uber
Do you want to
driver.
hear about this dangerous Uber driver?
Maybe he's peeing in a cup
He's
as
pretty
well.
reckless.
We don't
Remember
know.
when I was like, I want to be done by 2?
Yeah, not happening.
He's pretty right. This post is by Fourth. Her name is Fourth. I think that's also to note.
I hope her last name is July.
It is Jen. Her last name.
Fourth gen?
Fourth Jen.
Well, that's fantastic. She's basically an iPhone 4. Exactly. She's fourth gen.
Anyways.
Is she The Rock's daughter? Because then she would be a 4th generation superstar. in the WWE.
This is a public service to all of us taking Uber rides. This driver is extremely aggressive towards passengers, pedestrians, and other drivers. I just took a ride with him and 2 other Uber poolers, and the guy drove very aggressively, honked repeatedly at other cars for no reason. He almost ran over a woman while she was crossing the street on the pedestrian lines. Me and one of the other passengers told him to watch out, and then he became aggressive to the 3 of us inside the car.
Well, that's not cool. But also...
Cancel the ride.
Cancel the ride.
Say it until he pulls over.
And then contact Uber.
Uber, one thing I will give Uber, they're great at getting back to you.
Yeah.
Great at getting back to you.
The other thing is, welcome to downtown Toronto. Welcome to downtown any big city.
I don't know.
People are yelling, screaming, almost hitting people, and you can tell. Yeah.
I don't know anyone who drives aggressively downtown. I don't know anyone who drives aggressively downtown.
Come on, pal. Why are you yelling at me?
Adam, if you are in a car with Adam, he is getting you to where you are going.
I have a question that
Come hell or high water.
I have a question that Adam's not allowed to answer. Hey, Steve Dangle.
Hey, Jesse Blake.
You have a friend named Adam Wilde.
Do I?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Is he a bad driver?
Adam is a stealth driver. He does some of that crafty driving there, Jesse, because see, you might call it gunning it at the light to get in front of the car to the left of you because the lane is coming to an end. I call it crafty driving.
Okay.
Because, well, I mean, you know what? Adam bought this little bullet of a car, which I think is exactly the kind of car you need to have in downtown Toronto. And by gum, he uses
It'd be nice if I could fit in it.
Yeah, Jesse.
I'm sorry.
You're like, do you find something comical about the size of my automobile? I complained about my head hitting the
my problem.
Excuse me. We're having a discussion here, sir.
I just wondered.
You are not allowed to interject.
Excuse me. As you were, Jesse.
There is a private conversation going on.
How dare you?
I would like it if my head didn't hit the top of my friend's car.
Jesse, me too. Which is messed up because you got like 6 inches on me.
Yes. Anyways.
So, do you find something comical?
Here's the thing.
Wave to the people. Blow them kisses. That's Jesse.
That's me. Here's the thing. Buy a car that suits your driving style. If your driving style happens to be
crazy,
potentially on the verge of death a couple times a day, then buy a car that accelerates quickly. And I have now had 2 cars in a row. And the only accident I've ever had in my life, I was not at fault for. A woman ran a red, and she destroyed my first bullet car, which broke my heart.
No, you were in an accident like couple.
That was.
No, that's the one.
That's the one.
Oh, okay,
that's where she destroyed my car.
Okay.
And she's a nice lady. I don't hold it against her, except for the running the red light part. That's sort of dangerous. But it was one of those things where, like, I have never had an accident. I don't run into things. I do things very, very safely. I just do them at a higher rate of speed than Nana Steve is comfortable with.
Nana Steve,
who drives like a Nana.
I do not.
Drive a bit like a Nana.
How dare you,
I love
sir?
You, but you drive a bit like a Nana.
How dare you, sir? You know, Mrs. Dangle would agree with you.
See, okay, Mrs. Dangle drives more aggressively than you do.
I always joke that I don't think her dad is her real dad. I think she's adopted, and she's Bill Gates' long-lost daughter, Tail. Because Tail Gates. I'm going to be a great father.
Wow.
Adam, do you want to have a private conversation about Steve?
I'd love to. Yeah, let's have a private conversation. What have you to ask, Jesse?
Is Steve allowed legally to go over 20 kilometers per hour?
Now, he's allowed to.
Oh, he's
allowed to. Whether or not he's aware of that circumstance. You know, it's a little bit awkward when you're driving on a 4-lane highway and Steve is the slowest. You're the 2 youngest guys on the road.
Fuck off! No way!
And he's, you know,
I do at least $1.20. My God. My God.
I agree with the 20 part.
Oh, by the way, for all the Americans listening, we might as well be going Florfblongle.
Yeah.
We might as well be just listing IKEA furniture.
Let's just list Team Austria.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Can I get that Art Flack table, please?
It is always so embarrassing when you go up to people in IKEA and you're like, I like the Flugen, and they're like, oh, the Flugen, and you're like, why do you know that? Why do you know how that's pronounced?
SL has a cousin who works at IKEA, and if you just randomly blurt out a Swedish sounding word, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know how to put that together," because he's been there forever.
That's wild.
And man, he puts it together like a pit crew at NASCAR.
Oh, it's not that hard. No, IKEA furniture is not that hard.
You know what? It's not. But we had him come over one time because we just bought a bunch of IKEA stuff. He completed it like 3 times faster than we would have.
Really, eh?
Insane.
Cool. Amazing.
Insane. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Also, DJ'd our wedding. He's that relative.
Jesse, is that all that's up in Liberty Village?
There was this bug.
Oh, a centipede?
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you got to post that in the YouTube video. Everyone has these in their house.
What?
Yeah, Tim asked if anyone can identify this bug. It's a centipede, Tim. Stop it.
Google, Tim! Google!
Literally, just Google house bugs.
It always makes me
Common
laugh.
house bugs.
In Canada, it always makes me laugh. Every time the weather gets cold, what do the bugs do? They come indoors because it's warm and they want to live. Surprising, though it may be.
Life likes living.
Yeah, and it's so funny because people think that these bugs that suddenly appear, it's like, oh my God, we must have an infestation, and oh my God, they're probably poisonous. I'm like, nothing in this country eats us. Nothing in this country poisons us. We're not in Australia. Bears, maybe. But come on, people, relax. They just look a little creepy. Anyway.
You won't find a bear crawling across your wall.
Steve?
Yes.
We have a couple things left to do before we hit the press conference. The first one, I sent Steve a couple excerpts of 50 Shades of Grey so we could do 50 Shades of Cole.
Oh, dear.
And these ones I thought were
Jesus.
extra fun. Now, Steve, I'm going to let you have the floor.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now, is it just one person talking? Oh, dear.
Just
Have I done any of these quotes before?
maybe. Doesn't matter.
Ew. Oh, these are graphic. Okay. Let me just say, you should definitely know this already, but if your kids are listening,
This is the time not
turn
for
it
them.
the fuck off.
Yeah.
Why were they listening this entire time?
This might be listen, we've explicitly marked this podcast as explicit.
This doesn't sound fun. Okay, anyway.
Just do it.
What's the author's name again?
E.L. James? E.L. James?
Me. Testing out the voice. Before I know it, he's got both my hands in his vice-like grip above my head, and he's pinning me to the wall using his lips. His other hand grabs my hair and yanks down, bringing my face up, and his lips are on mine. My tongue tentatively strokes his... Apologies, folks. My tongue tentatively strokes his and joins his in a slow and erotic dance. His erection is against my belly. I specifically remember saying that before. I think that might have been pre-Jesse, though. The look you just gave me. In case you missed it, folks, before that commercial break, I said his erection was against my belly. This is the next one, Act 2. He leans down and kisses me, his fingers still moving rhythmically inside me. His thumb
Steve,
man?
Steve, we really
This is
need
a
you
bestseller.
Can you just get through this, please?
This is a movie? This is a movie.
It's not
In
really
theaters?
a movie. It's like a collection of really badly acted scenes that didn't make sense. It's not a movie.
With an Ellie Goulding song. That's what we got out of it.
And
so.
The Weeknd.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Weeknd song.
Oh,
Worth it.
Yeah, that's right.
Earned it.
Earn it.
I was
Thanks,
also
Jesse.
confused about that for a long time. He leans down and kisses me, his fingers still moving rhythmically inside me, his thumb circling and pressing. His other hand scoops my hair off my head and holds my head in place. His tongue mirrors the action of his fingers, claiming me.
I want to be claimed.
Will
One of you claim me? Can I be claimed?
Absolutely not. I'm a married man, Adam. His tongue... Nope, sorry. My legs begin to stiffen as I push against his hand. He gentles his hand, so I'm brought back from the brink. I come instantly again and again, falling apart beneath him, and then I'm building again. I climax anew, calling his name. Hockey Night in Canada.
Oh my God.
Well done. Now, lastly, before we get to the
These
press
books
conference,
are a fucking
That
mess.
was ew. I didn't like that.
No.
you didn't like that?
No, it was gross. Who would read that?
It was... What was the grossest word there? Rhythmically? Might have been rhythmically.
I love that she, in her own book, can't say, like, climax. Like, it's a...
She said come.
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah.
What did she
It
say
really
again?
comes out of nowhere.
What word was it?
Yeah, at the end. Right at the end. She said,
What word was it?
I come instantly
There you
again
go.
and again,
Wow.
falling apart beneath him. Then I'm building again. Ellipses. I climax anew. Calling out his name. Sorry, that went from Bob Cole to like guy announcing scary
SNL.
alien movie from
Yeah.
the 40s.
Jesse.
They come from another world.
Now, before we get to the press conference, Jesse, you have been here the majority of the length of that this show has existed.
You've been here longer than you haven't.
There was a time.
are we sure?
Yeah, you
I
were
think
here.
so.
You've been here for 2 years.
Okay.
The show has been on for about 3.5.
Okay. So barely.
Counts.
Yeah. Now, because it was just Steve and I for a little bit too. Now, there was a time in the long ago that that a story was told. A story about Buffalo, about Steve, and about Jeffler.
Oh no. Why are you bringing this back?
I was here for the second telling of that.
Were you here for the second time? Well, I
so
figured we should bring it back to the first. I thought we should.
See, Jesse thinks that was the second telling. Dude, there's like
Did I miss a
7
couple
or 8 of
There's
them.
7 pages of it. I had to go back to
Okay.
page 6 to find this. Do you want to know how Steve and Jeffler once hung out and spent a weekend in Buffalo?
I do. Did they buy Winter Classic jerseys?
I'll tell you. Happy birthday, Jeff. Dangle smiled at his boyfriend, Jeffler.
So wait, is this the old one?
Jeffler blushed. He was still getting used to dating the man of his dreams.
Is this on Tumblr?
It's still on Tumblr.
Oh, it's still.
Thanks, Stevie. I'm really excited since we're in the States and we can go clubbing. Jeffler exclaimed. Jeff's going to hate me for this. Sorry, man. Jeffler and Dangle were in Buffalo on a Black Friday shopping trip. They wanted to buy new erotic toys to experiment with.
Now-
because when you buy erotic toys, you get them on sale.
Jesse, here's what's extra fucked up about this. This is loosely based in reality because I had just recently gone to Buffalo with SL on a Black Friday shopping trip. Or no, it wasn't Black Friday. We just went. I think we just went. It might have been Black Friday. I don't know. But we went there shopping.
Did
And so they're like, okay, I'm going to edit this to be Jeff.
Did you get any hot deals on experimental toys?
And I'm going to
go
edit this.
clubbing?
Instead of SL, it'll be Jeff. And instead of they go and have a nice dinner at the Olive Garden, it'll be anyway.
So
Continue.
you really need to hear this because this is part of the foundation of the show, I think. Jeffy, get ready so we can Jeffy, get ready so we can go then, Dangle whined. Jeffler laughed and went to his room. Jeffler couldn't decide what to wear to the club because he wanted to impress Dangle. He finally decided and left his room. When Dangle laid eyes on Jeffler, he thought his grin would split his face in two. He was breathtaken by the sight of Jeffler. What are you gawking at? Jeffler flushed. Dangle didn't realize.
Yeah, when I see Jeff enter the room, the song starts playing in my head. Baby, this is what you came for.
Dangle didn't realize that he
Lightning
was staring.
strikes every time he blogs. And everybody's tweeting him. Sorry.
Dangle didn't realize he was staring. Sorry, he trailed off when Jeffler started walking towards him.
He trailed off the way he trails off when he's trying to explain picture-in-picture television.
He looked at Jeffler, puzzled. Jeff snaked his arm around the small of Dangle's back. Dangle bit his bottom lip and looked at Jeffler.
Lightning strikes every time you go to
I love that Jeff calls you Dangle in this, by the way. Dangle, stop biting your bottom lip.
Dangle.
You know what makes me want you even more? Jeffler said seductively. A wide grin spread across Dangle's face. We should just skip the club, he winked. Jeffler shook his head. No, I really want to party it up. I am finally 21. Dangle groaned.
And we said to each other, and we ain't even gonna make it to this club. 45 minutes to get all dressed up, and we ain't even gonna make it to this Buffalo club.
Now, Dangle groaned for me.
No.
Groaned for me. Like Dangle groaned, like, oh. Like,
like
not
that?
like that.
Dangle climaxed for me.
Dangle groaned.
Oh.
But then he had an idea. He pulled Jeffler by the waistband of his jeans to the edge of the bed and sat down, leaving Jeffler standing. Dangle, can't this wait? Jeffler whined. Dangle giggled and looked up at Jeff. This will only take a few minutes, he said.
Which I said the first time is cocky. That's very cocky. I'm confident in my abilities.
My skills are so good.
That's me going, you know what I'm great at? Oh, this.
Dangle giggled and looked up at Jeff. This will only take a few minutes, he said as he started undoing Jeffler's belt. He slipped his hands into Jeffler's jeans and boxers. Jeffler wears boxers. And then pulled them down to his ankles, leaving Jeffler exposed.
Jeffler wears boxers, but I'm confident he'll be brief.
Oh, wow. This is where it gets really explicit, so I really hope your kids are not listening.
No, we're past that. We're at least 10 minutes past that.
Dangle licked his lips at Jeffler's growing... Yes. Jeffler's look of confusion faded as Dangle brought his head in for a taste. He swirled his tongue around as Jeffler moaned and pushed further into Dangle.
Tumblr's fucked. The fuck is the matter with Tumblr?
This is my favorite quote. Dangle, this is great. He
like
said,
it's hamburger helper that you got in the mail.
This is why this is so funny. Your character commentary on this is so great.
I want to know if this is going to happen in real life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think so.
Dangle, this is great, he said, stretching out his last word. But we really have to get going. Clubbing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
As soon as Jeffler said that, what was the word you used with Bob Cole?
Climax.
Anew.
Oh, anew.
He climaxed anew. Dangle cleaned it up.
Oh, how did you clean it up?
Well, the way you clean things up, they get a little too explicit here. Back in the day, I read this word for word, but I can't.
No. You're on breakfast television, sir.
He grabbed Jeff's face and brought it close. Jeff?
Here, wait. Wait. We do need to wait for something for you to finish this, okay?
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming.
Steve's got a
so is
YouTube
Jeff,
video playing.
evidently. But
So is Jeff. So is Steve.
okay, I don't know when this video starts, so okay, continue reading.
Jeffler, I just want to make sure you have the best birthday ever, Dangle admitted. You have no idea how great it's been, Steve. Jeffler smiled at his boyfriend.
Too much.
Thank you.
The music makes it creepy.
Dangle,
Yeah, well,
don't stop.
okay. Don't stop, or is that
Don't
part
stop.
of the dialogue?
Dangle. No. Part of the dialogue. Dangle blushed. You're welcome, Jeff. He hesitated. And this is where it gets big. I love you.
It's already been big, Adam.
Yeah, but he confessed.
It grew, and
he
it's
just said,
been
I love
big.
you. He confessed it.
Wow.
Steve.
The big L. After the big O.
Jeffler
Only 2 letters left.
Jeffler contemplated this for a moment, and then he smiled. I love you too, Steve. Finn. That's the end of the story. Now, if anybody's been traumatized
I just
by
want to
that,
be the blogger you like. Sorry.
that is called Dangler OTP. Or no, LuvUDangler. .tumblr.com if you want to check it out. There is a bunch of stories.
Yeah. Tumblr's fucked. So
And I just, for the old school listeners, I did that for you because the first time we did that, we almost didn't get through it.
a long time ago, someone's like, you should tag all your stuff on Tumblr with Steve Dangle. Because if people look up Steve Dangle, they'll find your stuff. So I went, okay. So I've been doing that. And so every now and I mean, all the time, I search Steve Dangle on Tumblr because I want to see what people are saying. Maybe they thought the video sucked. Maybe they thought it was good. Maybe they thought the podcast was good. Maybe they thought it was bad. Maybe they had to comment on something. Maybe And I came across this the other day. Anonymous said, all right, I know he's not a hockey player, but am I the only one who would ride Steve Dangle through the mattress? Which is
Through the mattress.
Damn. That's damn.
Your interest was piqued.
Just because damn.
What a way to say that. I've never heard that way.
Is that, and then it made me go, is that how girls talk?
Yes,
would take that-
absolutely.
I would ride Justin Timberlake through the mattress.
Listen,
is
men
that
and
what-
women are both crass. Let's just put it out there.
No, I know that, but I don't know the lingo.
That's far more creative than any man would ever come up with. I'll put it that way. The way men talk, it's like, bleh.
Right through the mattress.
Yeah.
That's like Futurama Death by Snoo stuff.
It's good stuff.
First you will be made love to by the beautiful women, and then the large women, and then the very large women, and then the large women again. Sorry.
My favorite euphemism going right now is dick bicycle.
Wow.
that.
The Ariana Grande song.
Taking that for a ride around the block.
Wait, what?
Side to side?
Oh, I thought she actually had a song called Dick Bicycle.
No, but she's on a bicycle, and it's based on that song. And Nicki Minaj, they're on spin cycles, like Soul cycles.
Hey, Kiss 92.5, you are listening to Ariana Grande, Dick Bicycle, Toronto's #1 hit.
The lyric is, "Boy, you got me walking side to side."
No, the lyric is Dick Bicycle by Nicki Minaj.
Oh
says
yeah,
it
Nicki
in the
Minaj
song.
says "Dick Bicycle" in it. Yeah. Welcome to pop culture.
That's vicious.
Hey, should we do the press conference?
Sure.
All right. Everybody good? We're all hanging in there. We all recovered from Dangler OTP.
The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
By the way, if you ever check out that Tumblr that I gave you, Jesse, especially you need to check out the pictures they drew of Jeff and Steve together.
I don't want
Oh,
to see
they're
that.
actually-
weird. Yeah.
There's like pictures of them like animated and like
I don't want to see that.
it's hilarious.
Can you guys reenact it in real life?
Nah.
How much?
Look, just
The first
I'm pretty
question.
sure Jeff hated me the first time we
YouTube
did that.
partition Beyonce.
That's
and
what it
just
looks like.
imagine.
First question.
Oh my god.
How much money would it take for you and Jeff
No.
to recreate that entire scene?
There's not enough money.
$10 million.
not enough
You
money.
would do it.
Hottest first degree blogger.
Justin Fisher.
Oh wow, Jeff's
I mean, as we've said on the
triangle.
show, I mean, he was the hottest person at our high school.
right. That's true. That is very very true. And fought Wayne Simmons, got away with it.
Whoa. Oh yeah, someone did tweet us the other day after Wayne Simmons he dropped Jonathan Erickson with one punch. They're like, wait, you know someone who fought him?
Yes,
I mean, they were like 13, but yeah.
fought him and stood up all the way through it. And then when they were
didn't-
separated, he hadn't
die.
fallen over, didn't die. It was good. Justin's a tough cookie.
First question.
What's the question?
Well, second question. Astromaster, who's always commenting on our Reddit, he's leaving boot camp for the Coast Guard on Monday.
Oh, geez.
Can we wish him luck?
Canadian or American?
Canadian, I assume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a lifelong Leafs fan, so
Okay.
I assume Canadian. Should we give him
necessarily,
something to be inspired by?
Jesus, you want us to inspire you?
Inspire-
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm the one who's inspired.
Well, it is Remembrance Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow a holiday?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. Veterans Day is in the States, but I don't believe it's the same day. I believe they have a different day.
It's because they have two, and I always
they?
forget which is which.
Because I don't think they don't do Remembrance Day the same. I don't
What-
think they do Remembrance Day.
No, they have either Veterans Day or Memorial Day.
Yes.
And I don't remember which is which. I think Memorial Day is already passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the summer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early spring.
Memorial Day is gone. It's the same week as our Civic Day or whatever
Right.
that is.
This is us going fleep, blur, blah, blur, blur.
Flirpin', flirpin'.
Something to be inspired by.
yeah.
Something to be inspired by. Well, I think I think you need only look at yourself and the decisions that you've made. And honestly, honestly, it is not an easy life that you've chosen. You are going to be away from your family a lot. It's a sacrifice, and look at the people around you who have all made that sacrifice, and the people that you're listening to right now, who you're looking to for inspiration, who have not made that sacrifice, who sit in a room and yatter on about what other people are doing.
Yatter on.
It's one from my childhood.
Yatter on. I've never heard that.
Honestly, I'm. Thank you for what you're doing. Go Leafs go. Austin Matthews is inspirational, and you are too, sir. There you go.
Wow. Well,
I'm
you know
inspired.
What? That was very inspirational, but it pales in comparison to this. Kristen Shilton, who is TSN's Leafs reporter. Okay. Are we allowed to say that?
Maybe.
Yesterday, she tweeted from Leafs practice, Frank Corrado has a lot of oomph today. A lot of oomph. And a lot of people thought that meant Frank Corrado was going to play in the Leafs next game. We now know that's probably unlikely. Babcock said, well, because someone asked about Frank Corrado playing in the next game, he goes, well, we're 3-1 in our last 4. If you are not inspired by the fact that over a dozen games into the season, Frank Corrado, who has not been put in the lineup once, continues to give it his all in practice, I don't know what could possibly ever inspire you, ever.
I like it, Steve Dangle.
Frank Corrado, inspiration of a nation. I can't wait for him to score the Leafs Stanley Cup winning goal.
Free Frank Corrado. Am I right?
I can't wait for him to be the Leafs UA Krupp. Who? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You can ask who. He can answer. A guy who scored a Stanley Cup winning goal. Dag nabbit.
And then signed with Detroit, and then Detroit suspended him after he was at a dog show, and he was supposedly injured, but he was really racing his dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like weird. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, anyway.
Yeah, he showed up on ESPN one day.
Well, he
and
scored
like,
against
what?
the Panthers one
Anyway.
time.
2 more questions.
Yep.
Sam Sens writes, I'm a huge Sens fan, like Steve, but Sens. I'm from New Brunswick, though I've not gone to a Senators NHL game. My wife surprised me with tickets in January on back-to-back nights.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you give us directions to the field that the game is played in? Sorry. That was mean. You're trying to be nice. It's in the middle of a field.
They have a roof, right?
It's a new edition this year.
New edition.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. I get excited and will yell at my TV, but my couch is much different than public. How can I act? I don't want to ruin another fan's experience, but would like to get a chant going or something.
Here's my answer. Who the fuck cares?
Leafs fans, I haven't heard one thunderclap.
Yeah.
I know you went. I know some of you went. Start the damn thing.
Who's this? What's the username?
Sam Sens.
Sam Sens. Listen, man. You get in there and you get loud.
Yeah. As long as
That's
you don't
what they
like
need.
swear, right?
Yeah, you're not cussing people out. You're not being racist. As long as that's not the case, get in there and be loud and have the best time. Back-to-back games. That's what I want for my Christmas present. That's all I want. I could have Leafs tickets for Christmas every day of the or every Christmas from now on, and I'd be happy.
Attaboy, Eric! I need that. I need you to be obnoxiously loud. Mm-hmm. Get other fans into it.
Yeah.
Try to be funny, unless you're not.
Yeah. I love it. Don't worry about being obnoxious, man. Have a great time.
Yeah. The worst player on the team takes a shot. That's Sniper!
Steve's actually
Have fun.
He's a good cat caller at the games.
I
Jesse?
like having fun with baseball because I don't know what I'm doing.
Final question.
You have nice shoes. Sorry.
Povolitus on Reddit writes, don't look at the question.
I'm
How
sorry.
dare
I was
you.
trying to look at that name.
I pronounced it correctly. Where the hell are Sour Patch parents?
I just blew a booger out of my nose and onto my sleeve. That was the most disgusting. Oh my god. Take that out of the feed.
No, do not.
Oh my god.
Let the booger.
I just responded.
The booger should stand. That is a great question. Where are Sour Patch parents? Let's get into this. Where
have they been? Hanging out with Kinder Surprises?
I think they hang out with Kevin from Home Alone's parents because they are on the same level of neglect.
I wonder.
What candy could Sour Patch parents be hanging out with?
Well, I wonder if Sour Patch. I wonder if they were eaten by our parents. They were just called Sour Patch, and then once they wiped out the whole generation of them, all that was left was the offspring. And now they're old enough to eat.
This is like Sausage Party, but in real life.
Have you seen that movie, by the way? Is it any good?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah, my biggest mistake was not seeing it Incredibly Baked.
It's one of those?
It's, you know what?
Is it messed up?
It keeps it together, and then at some point, you can tell the writers just went, let's just end it. And they went, okay, here's how it ends. Okay, we got it. Good. It does. There is a moment, and you know exactly when that moment is if you watch the movie, where they just went, fuck it.
Is it like the moment in This Is the End where the goblin has a giant dick and he's stomping all over Earth?
It is similar to that. And funny that you should say that because same writers.
Yep.
All right, we're out of jokes now. Let's end the movie.
I saw it.
All right.
You want to talk about...
We had our scene with Channing Tatum. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rihanna got thrown into hell. We're done.
We're done. Oh, Michael Cera's dead. Hermione's not in the movie anymore.
All right, Hermione cut somebody's head off? All right, we're good.
Most awkward moment of my life was seeing that movie with my mother.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not a good mom.
Not a good movie to see with my mom. We're like, oh, this looks fun. Oh, baby. I don't know. We were waiting for something. We had to go somewhere, and we're like, we can see a movie. And so we watched the part where the demon is about to assault Jonah Hill. And he's like, touching my pee-pee, Jonah. Like, I looked over at my mom, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
So it was either 2002 or 2003. When did Robin Williams Live on Broadway come out?
2002.
I think it was 2002.
Because it was when Cujo left the Leafs.
And there used to be like contests in our high school who knew the most of that special.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I specifically remember going back and forth with people. Here's my idea for a fucking sport. It's called golf. Yes, Jesse? Was it 2002?
2002.
2002.
Told you. Cujo left. He makes a joke about it on the CD.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so, in the Toronto show.
I was 13 or 14. And I watched that shit with my parents.
Oh, my God.
But what was great was they let the first few jokes slide. Like, okay, he can sit through this. Okay, fine. It's Robin Williams. It's the genie of the lamp. I'm sure it'll be fine. Because they allowed the first few jokes, I'm pot committed. I have to sit for the whole thing. And it's just an hour of, like, it ends with...
Well, yeah, when he's committing fellatio to his own elbow. I wonder if that got a little weird.
It wasn't fellatio, Adam. It was cunnilingus.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's right.
Oh, my God, there was that. There was another one. I was like, Mom, I really want to see this movie with my friends for my birthday. And she's like, okay, it's not a bad movie, is it? I'm like, no, I don't think so. And it starts with like a DMX and Eminem mashup gangster song in a friggin' prison. And it's just every second word is the F word. No, way worse.
Oh,
Did
really?
your grade 9 French class watch Amélie?
Yes!
Did we?
There's a very aggressive sex scene in Amélie.
Oh, yeah. No, there's one. It's like, I wonder how many people are having an orgasm at this exact moment.
Yeah.
And then it shows them all, and Amélie goes 14. I remember that. It was burned into my
I
memory.
remember watching that at 14 with my entire French class.
I got into huge trouble in grade 11 or 12 media with our good friend Derek, who Steve and I are very, very tight with. And Derek is a shit disturber, just like I was. And we decided to do a project on the show called Rome. Have you guys seen Rome?
No.
First season was when we were in media?
Yeah, it was out in high school. It was a great series about the fall of basically the fall of the democracy, rise of Julius Caesar and Augustus and that sort of thing. Great drama. The first opening scene is aggressive fucking. Like aggressive sex, like riding it through the mattress.
Show title.
Like riding a dick bicycle.
This is devolving quickly. I hope my parents never hear this. And I remember this because I had to present on this show, and the only thing I could get was a demo of the show that said demo across the screen back before you could download this stuff. And that was the first scene, and I couldn't fast forward. You can't fast forward to DVD because it didn't have scenes in it. Didn't have cut scenes in it. So we had to play that, as our opening scene.
I was in that class. I don't remember that.
Pause it and then started from there.
Teacher said nothing. Let us go on with the presentation.
Wow. Was it Mr. L?
No, it was Miss Andrews. Thank God.
She's cool.
And she sent us a note. She wrote us a note on the paper afterwards.
I still talk to her.
Me too. Yeah. I'm still friends with her. And she wrote, if I ever see anything like that from the two of you again, make no mistake, you will be suspended. A-.
She was great.
Yeah.
She was, and continues to
Now,
be
very
great.
few people have been able to say I actively presented a sex scene in my class and got away with it. In high school.
Wow.
Although, it's part of media. It's HBO.
Wow.
Well, are we exhausted?
Well, this was a thorough show.
Yeah.
We
covered it all.
I'd say we climaxed a long time ago.
I'm ready to leave and climax anew, sir. Steve, why are you rubbing your thumb in a circular motion on your nose?
Rhythmically.
That's
What did we learn today?
What did we learn? Well, listen, we learned that we're all in this together. We learned that the Leafs deserve...
Sorry.
Start singing High School Musical, guys.
Yeah, you can't just go
Listen,
right back to it.
Get your head in the game.
Let's come together as a
Get your head in the game.
Yeah, Dangle Navy, get your head in the game.
I learned that you can spend 45 minutes to get all dressed up and still not even make it to that club.
Right.
I learned
that was your fault, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You were the one pushing for that.
Yeah, like in kind of a not cool way.
In the end, Jeff was the one who was pushing.
Oh. Good God.
I will say in closing, are we closing?
I'm closing.
I will say in closing what I've said to the NHL many, many times. Just be cool. For the love of God, just be cool.
Just to each other?
Yeah, and in general.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't mean try to fit in. Be cool, man. I mean, just be cool.
There you go.
Your friend needs some before the club.
Oh!
And help him out.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.